All right, welcome to our team call. We have a special guest today, Anita Jackson. She's going to be sharing Emerald Piggy Bank. Her and Neil are both going to cover some Emerald stuff and some volume type things with Emerald and why you open up that. But first, today is July 23rd, 2019, and we're going to go through some recognition. I'm going to hand it over to you to go through recognition first.
All right.
You sharing your screen?
I am.
Gotta try again. Oh, now you gotta push share. All right. There it is.
All right. So we have our recognition for the week. We have a new rank advancement. Miss Kayla Bratton went Emerald this week.
Good job, Kayla.
She is the only person right now with new coaches this month. Mm-hmm. So congratulations, leading the pack.
Yeah.
Here is some Success Club numbers so far this month. We have Tamara at 6. Kayla is at 4. Heather's at 2. Ari Rogers at 2. Morgan Bush is at 2. Haley Benfield at 2. Emily Brower and Ashley McRae, all 2 points. So that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Here is a current standings for Diamond. So again, these are active coaches. So if you have people going inactive or showing about to go inactive, we do not put them on here. So,
yeah.
But anyway, Ashley has 2 active right now. She has a few more inactive. Brooke has 5 active coaches. I have 6 active coaches with 2 emeralds. Heather has 2 active coaches. Paula is 2 active coaches. Emily has 3. Casey has 1, and Tamara has 2 in her second business center. So there's that. And this hasn't changed, but here's our road to elite. So this is just showing who's contributing for Success Club points. This is Dua.
Oh, she's talking to her son.
Oh. And then we have, these are Earning Success Club in the first month, of course, and then these are Diamonds. So if anybody's not familiar with the Road to Elite, we went over it again today, but that's just the new replacement of the leadership ladder, and there's some criteria. So this is just where we're tracking just to show kind of how that progresses. So
yeah, and we looked into doing another little recognition piece that's going to show volume in a better way so those of you that want to kind of have your volume tracked, so you can kind of see if you're on that track of being a 500 PV earner for the month. We're going to try to start doing that. We're just really, honestly, volume reports are just not the best, but I know that Beachbody's getting them.
Yeah, and they're working on some new reports too to make it easier to track team volume as well. So
yeah. So, all right, guys. So we're really proud of y'all and where you're at. And I'm going to kick it over to Anita. And Anita is going to talk about Emerald Piggy Bank and opening that. She kind of came up with this concept. It was really cool when she told me about it. Probably, maybe a month or 2 ago. I just remember, she was so excited. And I was like, that actually starts to make sense to me. And then Neil didn't actually know some of this about volume until this last week. And I was like, oh, it's because I've never explained the Emerald Piggy Bank to him. And so I was like, hey, Anita, can you explain Emerald Piggy Bank to us? So take it over, Anita.
Hi, guys. I'm Anita. For those of you who may not know who I am, I'm Tamara's success partner. We went on a blind Zoom date, and it's history from there. I'm a 1-star diamond. I have a smaller team than Tamara, but I'm working on it. Okay, so
I want to point out that Anita always hits much higher numbers. Anita's volume is higher than mine. So Anita knows how to grow in a different way than I have learned how to grow. So together, you get a lot of really good value from the 2 of us just learning different things. We just really complement each other in different ways. And sorry, I didn't announce Anita and who she was. I'm just everybody knows Anita because most of you have met her because we all hung out at Summit, but then I realized you haven't met Emily and you haven't met Paula. So sorry about that. Yeah, Anita's my success partner, blind date. Been awesome. We've hung out for 2 years, getting to know each other and getting to know each other's teams. And just really, she's just been a huge, a lot of times when we come up with some new ideas and stuff, it's been like Anita and I have been talking about things, or it's come from her. So it's really valuable to have that kind of partnership with others. So we're always trying to help coaches find somebody that is kind of like their yin to their yang, if that makes sense. And your team is big, so stop that.
Okay, so I want to start out with everybody raise of hands who here is Emerald and understands the importance of hitting Emerald right away. So part one, who's Emerald? Hand up. Okay, who understands why it's so important to get Emerald as soon as possible? Ooh, so I might be preaching to the choirs tonight. Okay, so hitting Emerald as soon as possible is important because that's when it opens up your team piggy bank, right? Do you understand why it is important to stay active once you become Emerald? Does everybody know the difference between an active coach and an Emerald coach?
I think you should definitely explain it.
Okay, so an active coach simply means that you have 50 or more personal volume on your coach account that can be either generated from your own personal orders, a tub of Recover, 2 orders of Beach Bars, to even now that we have the collagen, could be a collagen and Energize, a bag of Shakeology. The easiest way to do it is to just always order your Shakeology on your account. It can also be generated by customers. So any person who is not a coach, who you have sponsored, who's just a customer in your account, their orders generate your volume too. So an active coach is just somebody who has 50 PV or more on their account. An Emerald coach is somebody who has 2 active coaches underneath them on each side. I think y'all know that. The reason why it's so important to hit Emerald coach as soon as possible, especially on a team like the one that you growing consistently, is it opens up this concept of a team piggy bank. Okay, every time that somebody that's in the genealogy below you, hold on, let me open up the chat in case okay, anybody who's in the genealogy below you, anytime they order or they have a customer that orders, that gets put into your team piggy bank once you become Emerald, so long as you're always staying active. Okay, so the quicker that you become Emerald, the quicker all that stuff happening below you, whether you sponsor them or not, those pennies are getting put in that piggy bank, and the piggy bank is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it's full, and then it's going to pay you out. And then the team puts more money into that piggy bank by creating the orders and below you, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it pays you out. It pays you out when you are active and when you are Emerald. So even if you become Emerald, like let's say you start on Monday, you started yesterday coaching. You get your spouse as one of your sponsored coaches today, and your mom, dad, best friend, adult child, whoever, as the other sponsored coach today. You become active Emerald on Thursday. On Thursday, that team piggy bank starts to collect for you. Once you have 100 volume on one side, 200 volume on the other, and you don't even have to worry about volume, just know that the team is putting into that piggy bank for you. It will cycle and give you money once it cycles once. So once that piggy bank is full, boom, money yours. Even if you drop Emerald, you will still be collecting into that team piggy bank. It will just be getting fuller and fuller and fuller and fuller and waiting for you to become Emerald again and start to even out those sides. So if you have a strong side, which most of you do, you probably have the team, that's the side that the team is adding to. So your goal is to add to the other side so that the piggy bank gets fuller faster, and then you continue to cycle. So the important things that I like to tell my team is hit Emerald right away, so that everything that's happening below you, whether it's somebody who you've sponsored below you or somebody who they've sponsored below you, or even anybody who's above you who is sponsoring people below you, all of that's getting put into this team piggy bank for you. And as soon as you hit Emerald is when that starts collecting. So hit Emerald as fast as you can. If you lose Emerald, don't sweat it. Just keep your active status. And then when you hit Emerald again, you'll get paid out whatever has been collecting over time. Now, I have an instance with my parents. I have both my parents are sponsored Emeralds. They have not sponsored anybody. They're my coaches that I've gifted to my parents because I like to help them out in retirement. And they were both able to, just by maintaining Emerald for most of the year with 2 sponsored coaches, but with me building a team around them, my parents were able to make about $1,500 collectively last year. They only have 2 to 3 personally sponsored coaches each. So it's just the team building around them. So that is the power of the team piggy bank. Now, some of your team might not build totally on both sides for you. They might not build around you like I did do for my parents. But that side that you can build on the opposite side of the side that the team is building for you is the side that you want to focus on. So hit Emerald, build that side up so you can get as much on that side as volume as on the, am I making sense? I feel like you guys are like, eh.
You are. I mean, it's
okay.
still one of those, like, I know for me, anytime that we talk volume and stuff.
It's still a little bit of a visual. I mean, people still probably need to look at it from like a year. We don't
Can you say that last part where you said you were like, build that side? Which side again? I'm sorry, I missed it.
The weak side. So you probably have, there's always one side that the team is helping build for you. Always. Yeah. That side is the side that the team piggy bank, that's that team piggy bank. That's always going to just be there for you. You want to try to hit Emerald and then build that opposite side. I mean, if you want to go for rank, but until you've maxed out on your cycle of 250 a week, just build that weak side so you can keep up with a growing team on your other side. That's what's going to maximize your income. Once you get to the point where you're cycling at like 175 a week, then you want to make sure you're focused on getting to the next rank, because you don't want to have any of that money lost because you're actually having more volume on the 250 limit.
Coming out with pumpkin pie flavored.
Did somebody have a question?
Okay, I almost done it. You're good.
I feel like I have explained this so much better every other time I've ever talked about it. Essentially, hit Emerald, because that opens up the collective team piggy bank. Anything that's happening below you, whether you sponsor them or not, even like if, I mean, I don't know, who's your like upline?
So Michelle really is probably our upline, because Michelle is on a dead spot with Jimmy Nelson being our upline. And so while that is a very fast, big growing team, we don't have any of that.
Guess what? Neither does mine. Mindy Winder is our upline.
Yeah.
And we are on an inside dead lag. So my direct coach, Stephanie, is as far up as we get help from our team too. But Stephanie makes almost 6 figures a year. And she's built this all of her own, and I know that a lot of the other people on our teams are making, a decent income too. So it's totally possible. My point on that is, even if Michelle sponsors somebody in your team piggy bank, it's not just anybody who's below you sponsoring people. The people above you can sponsor people below you too. So hitting Emerald right away is really important, just because it opens that team piggy bank for you and will start collecting for you. Even if you drop Emerald, don't sweat it. Just stay active. And then when you hit Emerald again, all of that collection will get paid out on a cycle.
Yeah. I didn't know that. So that's good to know. Thank you for saying that. That's good.
Yeah.
So the main thing is get Emerald so that the piggy bank can start forming, but stay active. You don't have to stay in active Emerald for you to get that volume. That you just don't get paid the volume until you're an active Emerald again. You just have to stay active. So I can use an example. One of my coaches, we went through her back office. She was my very first coach that signed up. We actually went through her back office. How many volume points did she have? Was it 40-something thousand?
Yeah, about 40,000 built up.
Oh yeah, and she went inactive.
But she had been inactive a couple of times, so we didn't look all the way back. We just looked back probably. I can't remember how many.
And we looked back to April, and so she's gone inactive a few times. Had she not gone inactive, any of those times, she could have 100,000 volume points probably built up, which is great. But if her goals are that's not aligned with her goals right now. work the business. She was upset that she did go inactive, and that's, part of it, because one of the things is she's the example that I use often is she went emerald for me so that we could go diamond the first year. And she stayed emerald from, I would say maybe it was September until December. And that December, she realized she had an extra like $150 or $200 that she just got from those cycle bonuses that she was getting and those random here and there orders that she would get. Nothing, like no big deal, but like that was a huge deal to her. She's like, it's Christmas and I have an extra $150 that I wouldn't have had if I didn't go emerald. And so, so she knows like the power of emerald, and that's just like one of our examples of why it's really good to go emerald. But then also, like, if you go emerald and then you go inactive, because what had happened is all of her orders go through her spouse right now, and she just forgot to check it, and we weren't on top of it.
So I want to piggyback off of what you said, Tamara, though, with you mentioned that she went inactive, and that's fine because it just working the business just didn't align with her current goals. Mm-hmm. You don't need to work the business to stay active.
This is so true.
And it's so true. And I think this is lost on a lot of people. Like you can sponsor 2 people. I mean, you could even invest and sponsor 2 people yourself just to start open that piggy bank up, and then just worry about yourself staying active. And then like, just by word of mouth, if you're continuing to, use the products and do your workout just because it's a part of your life, you'll start talking about it when you're just out there, and you'll probably have 2 or 3 a year referrals of people who want to try it. Then you get them set up and boom, you're active again, and you get paid out on, or not active again, emerald again, and you then get paid out on all that piggy bank that's been collecting for you since that last time you were emerald. Just stay active. You don't need to actually be a working coach to be an active coach.
Yeah. And you'd point out there's a lot of other things too besides Shakeology. I mean, energizing collagen, Recover on its own, 2 boxes of beach bars. Like a lot of us use a lot of those items. And if you haven't yet, like try something new. Because you never know what you're going to fall in love with. I know I thought Shakeology was like going to be it for me. Like this is everything. And now honestly, Energize and Recover are everything. Like I still love my Shakeology, don't get me wrong, but like, I'm like, I could talk to anybody about some Energize and Recover because of how much it has helped my physical abilities. Just performance wise and like how it's changed my body. So, and Shakeology has done the same. It's new and exciting to me. So that's why I'm talking about it more now, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm really starting to see and feel the differences.
So I have a question for everybody on the phone. Does everybody feel like they could take the piggy bank analogy and explain it to somebody else right now? Raise your hand if you feel that way.
Yeah. Oh, you're
okay. Good. That was my point, because I'm like, it works. It took me a long time to come up with an analogy that I got. Like I knew it was important, and I did all the things, and I always listened to my mentors when they said, do this, do that. And it worked in my favor. I have maximized every inch of the income potential that I can. But putting it in, some people just don't do what their mentors say because they don't necessarily have that trust. So being able to put it in terms that help people simply understand it will help you help them, and so on and so forth. And I have a recording, so if you guys want to listen to it, I feel like, Tamara, the recording that I shared is so much better than what I just did. But as long as you guys can re-explain it, that's the goal.
Yeah. Did you want to share a little bit about do you guys want to see some inspo, like why it's good to go emerald and how that like why, like even for Neil, like what that looks like? Because we actually looked up did you look up all the numbers?
Yeah. I mean, I just looked up basically my business center and where it was, how it kind of progressed over the years. If you guys want to just see it. You guys want to see it?
Yes, no. Would it be helpful? I mean, because you can kind of see like just the income progression of, so you guys that don't know, Neil is my husband. I signed up as a coach. He just signed up as a coach like a couple months after I did. We didn't know the importance of going Emerald right away. So we didn't go Emerald for like 3 or 4 months. And he'll kind of explain a little bit of that. And then he's going to kind of share like when his business center went Emerald and then when his business center went Diamond and like how that's kind of just progressed.
Yeah, there's not.
He didn't do a pretty graphic.
There's not anything fancy. I just typed up basically what it was.
Oh, you didn't get the money.
I got some money. So basically, here's a progression on here. But Tamara signed up was it June, right?
No, May. Like the end of May.
Okay.
But yeah, pretty much. It's okay.
May. So she didn't sign me up until she had another coach and wanted to go Emerald. So it took her a little while. So, we didn't go right away like we're kind of encouraging more people do now.
Mm-hmm.
But in July, we signed myself up as a coach, which put her at Emerald.
Mm-hmm.
And by December of that year, she built my business center to Emerald just with her coaches. So, she placed 2 coaches under me, so I went Emerald. And then as she built her organization over the next 2 years, basically I was collecting volume on my strong leg, which is actually her weak leg, and just their normal business. We had a couple of people building over there a little bit and hitting Success Club and bringing some volume in. So from December 16, the time I went Emerald, to the end of from 15 to 16, 1 year basically, I had 21,000 points stored up just from people that Tamara was placing underneath me. So if you have a coach above you, they're just placing people underneath you and so on. All that volume just gets stored. So I had 4 cycles. I cycled a couple of times off of whatever.
So 4 times 14 is how much money you made off of cycles.
Right. That year I didn't cycle much because there wasn't anybody on my inside leg.
There wasn't. Yeah.
But that piggy bank was being built, that 21,000 points. And then again to 2017, obviously we were starting to put a few coaches under my business center then, because you could see the cycles are a little bit higher. But by that time there was almost 70,000 points just waiting in that piggy bank. And then we finally built a little bit more in 2018 is finally when I went Diamond. But basically down here at the bottom, this is kind of just monetarily. So you're talking about a strong leg cycle of 200 and a weak leg of 100 to get your team cycle bonus, your $14, $16, $18, depending on your rank. So roughly 14,000 points is equal to about $1,000 based on taking 200 points from that leg. Now you still have to build the volume on the other side to cycle. Otherwise it's just going to sit there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just kind of, so basically, that 70,000 points I have is about $5,000 just sitting there waiting to get tapped into. That
Right.
If we weren't Emerald back in, whenever.
Back in 2015.
2015.
And if he didn't stay active, which I don't think you've ever gone inactive.
No, we haven't.
So honestly.
So it just helps you cycle quicker. Now Tamara's second business center is under that leg, so all of our orders are going through. So every $100 we sell, or every 100 team volume points we get, it's cycling quicker instead of trying to build up 2 sides. So that's just I don't know if that helped anybody or not, but
Neil, this is a really good example of how somebody needs to, why it's important to work a little bit, because you have the 70,000 that is just waiting for you to tap into, right? So probably everybody here on the phone is somebody who needs to work to match that on the opposite leg, right? But as just a strategy for if you are building I see what is cycling. We'll get to your question in a second. Just a strategy for if you are also building a spouse or a parent or an adult child's business, basically just for income. You don't need to always just put on the one side of their leg. I have built with the people that I sponsor, my dad as even as I can. Kevin is almost perfectly even just on volume, because I will sponsor somebody and place them on Kevin's weak leg and on my strong leg, which is his strong leg. so that he cycles the most. And what that does is it gives our family the most amount of cycles because Kevin is cycling. So Neil, we don't have that buildup of 70,000 because I was placing for volume on both sides.
And we weren't. Yeah.
Right.
Like
and,
outside. Like that's all that we were
right.
doing for the longest time. Was
so the strategy that you use for your own business center, use that for your spouse's, parents, adult child's as well.
Yeah.
And that will maximize your income.
And
now,
this is where with your coaches, do you kind of like, and this is what I would think that you would do when they get a new coach, just have them connect with you for the first couple at least until they start to understand where to place people so that they can get, so that you can show them, okay, like let's actually put this person right here. And you have 5 days after you sign up a coach to change their location in your business.
Yep. So, you know, by maximizing, even sides makes the most money. So somebody asked about cycling. Cycling is, cycling is what happens when the team piggy bank is full. You will get one cycle. That happens by having volume points on both sides of your business. Once your team piggy bank is full, you'll get paid out on that. How much you get paid out of that depends on your rank. It's $14 for Emerald, $16 for Ruby, and $18 for Diamond. Some people cycle once a week. Some people cycle hundreds of times a week. Some people cycle thousands of times a week. It depends on how big your organization is. Okay. So there is definitely a lot of money to be made in the cycle bonuses. And it's money from work that's already done, kind of, right? Because it's people who are already ordering things. It's people who are working the business. It's not commission based. So I call it my relaxation money because you don't have to hustle to get that money because it's already building for you. It's nice.
Yeah.
Real quick, for anybody also that's not familiar with how to look at this or to see if they have any volume going on or being built, I just wanted to share real quick where to find that in the coach office. So you log into your coach office, this is what it'll look like. If you want to check, you can go to, well, you can look right here on this tab, the volume. It'll have your carryover volume down here at the bottom, and it'll have your current week volume, your left and right. That's probably the quickest and easiest spot to get to it. You can also go to monitor my business, carryover volume, and see how it's progressed through different cycles, what your rank was and how it's added, how many cycles you've gotten over a period of time. But that's kind of where you monitor it. So you just to keep an eye on it. If you're curious to say, well, yeah, I've been Emerald for a little bit, I want to see, if I have any volume built up or whatever, you can check in the volume tab. So
yeah. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to push stay with free. Does anybody have any questions? I know that was more, like that was a loaded one. We talked about a lot. And I know for me, I've shared sometimes when we do volume talks, I'm like, what just happened? And I have to process it and I have to hear it multiple times. And if you search the word piggy bank in Team Give, so our upline team page for all of our coaches, you'll see Anita's other video that she had saved because I posted it in there months ago. And that way, if you have to hear it multiple times, that's one way to do it. This one's also being recorded as well. This call is.
The other one is definitely better.
I was gonna say, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm not Emerald yet, and I mean, obviously I want to get Emerald, and I don't exactly know where I got lost, but I got lost somewhere, and now I'm just really confused. So like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where I got.
How do you get Emerald, or
one of the things I'm confused about is like, you were talking about how you had like 70 points like saved up or something like that, and how you can like get Emerald and then not be Emerald anymore, but like still be saving up points or something. And I think I'm just confused about that. I don't really know.
All right. So when you, this is a really good question, and you're probably like me when it comes to volume. You're going to have to just hear it a couple different times. But basically, you get to Emerald, and this is where that piggy bank opens. So you're here, and then you have two people here, and then you're Emerald, and everybody's active, so you're Emerald. And say that your strong leg is this leg. So this is where Brooke would be adding other people to you, or myself, kind of depending on where you're at in your business center. So you go Emerald, maybe this person over here, so you're up here again, but maybe this person over here, they go inactive. They like didn't want their Shakeology that month. So you're not an Emerald coach anymore, but we're still adding people on this leg. You are still accumulating all of that volume. So when you get another coach that goes active over here, you're going to start cycling on that volume.
Okay. And like, I guess the volume, is that something like you just showed something that says carryover volume? Is that something that carries over month to month, or is that something that like restarts every month? Or?
No, that carries over. If you go inactive, then it goes to zero.
It all goes back to zero.
But if you stay active, that volume will carry over. And what that means is it's carrying over because there's a lot of volume over on this leg, and then there's no volume over here, so you're not actually cycling. But you get 100, you get an order over here, somebody orders a challenge pack, like you sign up a coach and they get a challenge pack, or this coach has somebody that orders a challenge pack, something like that. You have like 100 or 200 volume points, so then you'll cycle once or twice because you have all this other volume. So it's just kind of like, okay, we're cycling it.
I put the video link and the YouTube link to how to team cycle bonus, where Michael Neiman goes and explains he'll give you a little bit more visual about you have this much over here, you have this much over here. Poof.
Yep. So that's in the group chat if you guys want to copy that out if you haven't seen that one.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and I have a question
More.
really quickly.
Yeah. We got 6 minutes.
Okay, so we don't get volume off of people that are like, okay, so if I have a coach and all she does is get Shakeology monthly, but she's not working the business, all I'm getting is commissions on her Shakeology, right? I'm not getting volume from her Shakeology order, right?
If she's a coach, you're getting the volume from that order. You're not getting commissions.
You're not getting commissions. So you have it opposite. Yeah, so you're not getting her monthly commissions anymore. You're getting volume. And then this is where so you're just getting volume. So she's her 90 PV is part of your 100 200 volume points that way.
I guess I got that confused because I watched the Fit Legacy family and they said that you don't cycle on personal volume. Oh, okay.
Yeah, personal volume versus team volume.
Yeah, so she's contributing to your team volume. So and that is really important. And that's why some people are afraid to have discount coaches. Some people highly encourage them. It really depends on goals. And I mean, like, I know for me, if it's a good friend, I'm going to give a good friend a discount. I'm not going to tell my mom, no mom, you have to pay full price.
Okay, so one more question. So the differentiation is because she's a coach, she is team volume instead of personal volume.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, so she won't.
Now, if you had a customer, you would be getting commission off of that customer if they were signed up with you. You would be getting volume off of that because now your upline would be getting volume off of that order, but you wouldn't unless you signed them up on Robert, which is kind of what they talked about before. If you signed it up as Robert, he would get a commission and you would get volume on that leg from that order.
And that's why in that Fit Legacy call, there's a lot of talk about goals pending. You just put all your orders under your spouse. Kind of like Anita said, still paying attention to that volume though, because there might be a time where you do need to put somebody on your other leg. Just so that you yourself are still active or you yourself are still cycling. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why, because then you're getting paid commissions and you're getting volume off of those orders.
And that's one of the reasons why it's even more important to, once you hit Emerald and you start growing your team, once you hit 2-star, it's it's mind blown because everything will go under your second business center, which will be under your spouse, which will also be under your first business center. So you're getting paid here on your second business center commissions. And then this business center, your spouses and your other business center will be cycling off of that.
Yeah.
So, because that's when you really start to earn a lot of income. So if you want to start earning a lot of income, work yourself to get to 2-star. And you can do 2-star if you have 2 people who you can build with you. So your spouse, your parent, whatever.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too, kind of like with 2-star, I'm really grateful that I went there. I got there a couple of years ago. I honestly haven't held it, but all of my orders still go to my second business center. So we are just getting paid 3 times through on my orders. Like I barely put people in my first business center anymore because it's not income producing. Now I have been putting some people there because I would love to see the team go elite, but we've kind of changed our goals. We're like, honestly, we need money. Like we, like would rank and recognition be awesome? Absolutely. If it happens, we're going to be so thrilled for the team. But income is is a really big deal for a lot of people that decide they want to do this as a business. But yeah.
So open that Team Piggy Bank ASAP. Get yourself Emerald. Don't sweat it if you lose Emerald. That is okay. Just remain active. There is a difference between active coach and Emerald coach. Mm-hmm. Just remain active. Go Emerald right away. And then build strategically your sides so the volume, the team volume is equal on both sides so that you don't have any carryover. If you don't have any carryover volume on each side, you're going to maximize your income.
Yeah. So like my first business center, no carryover volume. His business center, tons. Yeah.
So if I was Tamara, what I'd be doing is sponsoring a ton of people, but placing them all underneath Neil's weak side so that they start to cycle more over there.
And that is and our second business center is under Neil's weak side. So that's how we're starting to get him to cycle more.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for this call. Everybody take a really quick smile. Cheese. All right, guys. I think I got a little video of it too. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. We really appreciate you guys. And I hope that y'all have a fun rest of your Tuesday night. And we'll see you guys soon.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.